Welcome again, everyone. My name is Marty Atkinson, and I am the moderator for today's seminar, which is entitled Learn How to Make Your Meetings Shorter and More Productive by our fearless leader, Blaine Morrow. And without me chattering anymore, it's all yours, Blaine.
Well, thanks, Marty. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, and it's always a pleasure to work with Marty. So I'm excited here to talk about a new tool which we're calling CCC Brainstorm, which does help to make your meetings shorter and more productive. So I thought I'd summarize the basic information about why this is important. We, meaning my project, CCC Confer 3C Media Solutions App 1, have procured a system-wide unlimited use license for a software tool from Facilitate Pro, and it's a web meeting tool that allows you to run multiple sessions simultaneously for any number of users. If you're working for a California community college, you can use this tool as a meeting facilitator as often as you like and for as many meetings as you like. And the tool and the sign-up for using it are at cccbrainstorm.org. And the whole purpose of this webinar is to show you how it works and how you can get started using it. So what I've decided for this session is I'm going to break the magician's code and show you what's behind the scenes first before I show you what this tool looks like in actual practice. So that means I'm going to do a bit of the work, and then I'm going to take you into a session. I'm going to ask you to do some work to become a participant in a real brainstorm session. But I do want to show you what my screen looks like as a meeting facilitator who's setting up and managing a meeting. And I think this will give you a good idea of how easy it is to customize your meetings and tailor them to the group or to specific purposes. So the first thing I want to do then is to show you there. This is the login screen that if you go to cccbrainstorm.org, this is the screen where you do the actual login. And the reason I wanted to go back to this one is to show you when you follow that URL that here, if you can follow my mouse, in the how to get started is the only thing that you need to establish an account. You fill out this form, and there's a little video at the bottom. It features me, but it's a little video that kind of introduces you to what CCC Brainstorm is about. But fill this out and then submit, and from there you will be able to get an account and become a facilitator. Now, we log in here, and this is the facilitator main screen. And the meeting that I have planned for you to be involved in today is the screen that's up here. Welcome to CCC Brainstorm. Now, as a facilitator, I am seeing some things, and you're seeing them with me, that would not appear to the ordinary participant. Particularly, I've designed an agenda right now with 5 different items in the agenda, but we have a few columns here. The pencil for editing allows me to edit topic settings, and the prepare to vote column are things that don't appear in the user screen, but these are what you use to change things on the fly as your meeting is going on. And then over here on the right side of the screen, you'll see that I, as a facilitator, can select a lot of other conferences, meaning other brainstorm meetings, from a pull-down menu. And that makes it possible for me to switch between meetings whenever I like. And below that pull-down menu, you'll see 3 buttons: Open, Edit, and Create New. And I use this to open a conference or brainstorm session and then edit it or to generate a new one. So I want to today take you to a session that's already happened, this one, an English department meeting on student success. So I will open that, and you'll see that the screen has changed again. And this is a meeting with agenda topics on the left-hand side, and let's go through each of those. So when I click on item 1, which is what student success strategies have worked successfully for you, I'm taken to a brainstorm screen that the meeting participants use to brainstorm on this topic. And you'll notice that there's an Add an Idea section that allows you to add an idea with a headline along with additional detail. And let's scroll down, and you'll see that there have been a lot of ideas added to this session. And they've already been categorized into assessment, course design, student support services, and teaching practices. And you'll also notice that some of the participants have added a lot of detail, and some of the ideas have comments that have been added to them. So I want to return to the main screen, and I'll take a look at agenda topic 2, which is what problems are you having with implementing student success strategies in your class. And this one is different, isn't it? It's been set up to allow participants to vote. In this case, low, medium, or high. So the participants have already brainstormed on a number of ideas, and in this case, for this agenda item, we're asking them to rate those ideas. So what I want to do is to show you how easy it is to do that. So up at the top, you'll see prepare to vote as one of the options that the facilitator has. Right now, you'll notice that they're voting on low, medium, or high. Let's change that. And I'm going to click on strongly agree or disagree. I've got a lot of different voting options here. I can put them on an agreement and comment, a 100-point scale, all kinds of different voting options. But the one I'm going to try is strongly agree, disagree. I'm going to say delete all previous ballots for this one, and then distribute those ballots. And now, if I click on Save and View, we go back to the same agenda topic, and instead of low, medium, and high, we're given sort of a Likert scale of agreement, strongly agree, disagree, etc. So you see, it's pretty easy to change your mind and gather group opinions in lots of different ways with this tool. So once again, let's return to our main agenda. And topic 3, what student success strategies would you like to learn more about, has already been voted on in this group. So when we look at that one, you'll see that we've already gathered responses on this one. You'll notice that the average responses are listed along with the standard deviation. Each response had 10 voters, and there's a graph next to each of these. So if I click on this graph, I'll be able to see the actual vote distribution. So for this particular item, 5 people strongly agreed, 4 people agreed, 3 people were neutral, 2 disagreed, and 1 strongly disagreed. I'll go back to that. So we're able to very quickly tally up the votes once we've asked for them for any particular topic. So it shows you how the actual votes were distributed. I'm going to go back one more time to our agenda topic, and I'm going to click on agenda topic 4. And you'll see that this one, although it's set up much as the other topics, it has a headline and a section for additional detail. You'll notice that this one adds input for who and when a task is to be accomplished. So this is actually an action planning tool. So if we scroll down to take a look at how this works, the ideas that have been added actually show a sort of Gantt chart with a timeline for completion. So this is kind of something you'd use perhaps after having decided on a plan of action, a course of action, a way to keep the group looking at where they're going to go next and what they do once they're out of the meeting.
Oh, Blaine?
Yes.
Sky Vigilant wanted to know if the participants have to log in to vote.
Well, they don't have to log in. They can log in anonymously and vote, or they can log in with a specific login. And I'm about to kind of show you that part of it too. Okay? Does that answer the question?
Does for me.
Okay. One other feature that I wanted to show you is that you can print this conference. So I'm going to click on the printer icon as a facilitator. I have some pre-formatted reports. I can just look for voting reports, or I can look for a quick summary. I can decide to do it in basic text or HTML format, all this sort of thing. But I'm just going to go to the print preview, which allows me then, in one click of the button, to get everything that has happened in this meeting in a printed format. And of course, from here, I can copy this and put it into a Word document. I can export the data into an Excel format. I can add this to a report that I'm going to generate on other items for a meeting, etc. But the actual printed report comes to me immediately. So there's no need to wait for distribution of paper and all that sort of thing. Wait for the results to be compiled. As we're meeting, I'm able to generate a report. So now I'm going to show you another trick, which may have something to do with what Scott was asking as well. I'm going to click on the Edit button for this particular session. This is how I set up the session, but there are things that I can do in this session which allow me to edit in a lot of different ways. One of the things that I'll point out is if there's a checkbox, if you can see where my cursor is, it says grant only the following participants access to this conference. If I check that, then I'm limiting who can actually get into the conference, who can participate at all. The other thing that's true right below is who the users are, that a user participant ID and a password is generated for each conference. So you can be sure that your conference is only going to be accessed by the people who have that username and password. And now I'm going to click on this envelope icon and show you a nifty little trick. What this generates is an invitation, an email invitation, which of course you can edit, which gives a URL with the password and user ID, or for a direct login, how you can enter into this directly. So there are two kinds of logins to a Brainstorm meeting. The second one is an anonymous login. That means when you log in, you're taken directly. That's the way I'm going to take you into the next session. But you can also demand that users identify themselves when they enter into them. And that's completely up to you as a facilitator. But the nice thing is you're able to generate that invitation and send it on just like a professional. So nifty little choice for the meeting facilitator. So now I think what I want to do is to take you actually to the session that you're imminently going to be participating in. You'll notice that there are a lot of sessions here. So I'm going to take you to the Welcome to CCC Brainstorm. And you'll notice right now that I have 5 agenda topics here. But the truth is that you, when you log in, will not see all of them, and I'll show you how that is.
Oh,
so,
Blaine? Greg has a question. Can we connect it to our district's LDAP system so attendees cannot type in an incorrect identity?
Doubt if I can do that, Greg. That may be something we can explore in the future. But with our current license, I really don't want the facilitate people to have to do any more software generation for us. So that may be something we can explore in the future. We'll see how popular this tool becomes. It's a good question, though. So again, I'm going to go back to this agenda topic, and I'm going to use this little pencil icon, which you don't have, but I have as a facilitator, to edit the settings for this particular topic. For this agenda topic, and I'm going to scroll down just a little, and I'm going to open the participant topics viewing options. One of the things that I've done with this is I've departed from what are sort of the default settings. What you may notice here is that I've given a custom headline label to this particular topic. It says your name and description. I've decided to merge those two together so that instead of the headline and then added detail, I put them together by clicking on this button. And the other thing that I've made it possible for you to do when you enter into this particular agenda item is to attach web links and files. And the reason I've done that, I'll show you in just a second. When I go back to that topic, what I will ask you to do is to describe yourself and to add anything like a web URL, give it a title and then a URL, and name your picture. And Marty and I have actually pre-populated this so that this link is actually to a blog of mine. This link is to a blog of mine. As you can see, we both attached nice pictures of ourselves. I think Marty's is a little prettier than mine, but that's the way things go.
Blaine took the picture.
The other thing I want to point out to you is under this particular item 4, when I click on the edit for this topic, I did a little trick here. I checked on a box that says grant only the following participants access to this topic, and then I left that blank. So the truth is that when you enter into this meeting, you won't see that topic. And I did actually the same thing for topic 5 in our meeting. So when you enter in, you're only going to see the first 3 agenda items. And when I, as the magician, decide to pull the rabbit out of the hat, I'll make 4 and 5 available to you. So I think I've shown you everything that I wanted to show you about this application. So I am going to stop sharing the application and take us all back to the whiteboard. Now this is a good point before I actually make you start brainstorming on your own to ask for more questions and answers. So any other questions about the facilitation, etc.? Greg wants to know, can this be used with students who won't have individual accounts, I guess? No, yes, it can be used with students, but remember, they'll be participants. We won't give them the ability to be a facilitator, but you can invite anyone you want into a brainstorm session. So students can be invited. They just won't be able to set up their own brainstorm sessions. Very much like a Confer account.
So you could also have community members or people outside the college.
Mm-hmm. And Eric says he signed up and got an account in a couple of hours thanks to Tiffany. Yes, that's exactly how it works. You should get it either same day or next day. No guarantees on that. Could this be a tool for, this is Scott again, could this be a tool for a minutes taker at a meeting to quickly generate a report? I think possibly, depending upon, remember that what this really is a way to get ideas from a lot of different people. Generally, minutes takers are only getting ideas from a single source, so this might not be as good as a simple word processor. Did I miss any? Is there a question type to force a ranking? Take these X number of items and rank. Yes, there is. And I didn't show you that one, but there's a 1 to 100. There are a number of different ways to work out the votes. Any OS or internet browsing limitations? Not that I'm aware of, Sylvia, although I've tried it with Firefox and Internet Explorer and Safari, but I have not tried it with Chrome and some of the others.
I'm using Chrome and it works.
Will this work on an iPad? I believe it will. Yes, it will, Eric. Is there a quick guide for new participants? Yes. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and do this. I'll take you back into AppShare again. One of the things, as soon as you have an account, there are express video tutorials. This is a screen that you'll get from there. And the video tutorials are basically, they're about 1 minute long, and they show you how to do all of these different functions. There also is a PDF quick reference guide, and there's a little template which helps you sort of plan where you want to go. It's really just a planning guide for that. But all of these are available to you at any time when you're a facilitator. Okay, and let me stop app sharing again.
Greg would like to know if the meetings can be asynchronous.
Oh yes, absolutely. I was going to get to that a little bit later, but these can take place in real time. They can take place over a period of time. In fact, I think a lot of this can be used as a pre-work, but I'll get to that in a little bit. As you're working, I'll try to explain some of this to you as well. Survey results can be exported to Excel, yes, and same sort of a question. It can be used synchronously, asynchronously. It can be used both ways. In fact, I've used it in the past where some people could not attend a synchronous meeting. I gave them an opportunity to do their brainstorming in advance, and then the rest of the group gathered synchronously to add their comments and ideas, and then all the results were shared from the printed report. So, all right. I think we're actually ready to begin a brainstorm. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to take you right to a meeting. there you are. And you're in a brainstorm session. You're in the one that I was showing you before. And one of the things about this tool is that it can be used, as I was saying, for same-time events in a meeting room, or it could be a virtual environment online, or it could be used asynchronously for example, activity prior to perhaps a teleconference. And many of our users are using it. In fact, I think Scott's familiar with this for some pre-work aspect of a virtual interaction, as well as a completely asynchronous activity. So what I'd like you to do, as an example, is to click into that first agenda item, the welcome, and that is set up for introductions. And I'd like you to go ahead and participate in that. Begin with introducing yourself, just as I showed you before. So if you were going to ask people to perhaps log in ahead of time and exchange some information, and in this case perhaps include a photograph of themselves so that you could build some social capital, you can begin to create a sort of closeness within the group. And of course you'll notice, as I showed before, that I've added a photograph of myself, as have Marty, and some web links that take you to the blogs or to something that you're up to. So feel free to do the same if you like. And one caveat, as Marty has mentioned, this session is being recorded, so whatever you put here may appear in a recording that others outside of the session may see, of course. So let's take a few minutes, and I'm going to allow you to add your own introductions to this area. This is the point where you put your lunch down and actually start typing in that area. You'll notice that the list will begin to refresh itself. And you also have a refresh list button for that. So please introduce yourself. Remember, we're on agenda topic 1. Welcome. Please introduce yourself. So one of the ways that I like to think about this tool is that we're really reproducing sort of the Post-it notes and the flip charts and the voting tools that we might use in a traditional face-to-face meeting. So whereas a tool like Meet and Confer, for example, is primarily reproducing the presentation part of a meeting, as I was doing a few minutes ago, which is primarily pushing information out to the group, Brainstorm is focused on pulling information in from the group and replacing the Post-it notes, those flip charts, the kind of sticky votes, and that sort of thing that might be used in an interactive environment. And that's why I think these tools are different and complementary. And I see that some of you are adding. Thank you very much. And they take on a slightly different aspect of a meeting when you use them. And by the way, the flip chart will update itself every time something is added. But you can also use that refresh list, which comes right above the electronic flip chart, and add my idea. That button is there, and it updates the list for you as well. So sometimes we find that we've been down reading the list for a while, and normally we just go in and comment. But sometimes we've just been reading, we wonder, I wonder what's been going on, so we just refresh the list. So I'm going to do that myself and take a look. And I see that we have, Sylvia, what a nice picture. So we have a few of you that were able to add some. And I notice also that some of you were able to add some. I don't think I can afford to spend more time on this right now, but hopefully you can see that this might be useful as a sort of precursor to a discussion or a real-time meeting. So let's go right back to the main screen. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to see Return to Main Screen. And this time, I want to take you into a brainstorm. So what we're going to do with this next topic is have you go through a brainstorming exercise. And we're going to categorize those ideas. I'll show you how that's done. And then we're going to prioritize them. So those are the fundamental tools that we have in this application. You get the brainstorm, you categorize, you organize, you vote or prioritize, and then, of course, there's action plans as well. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click on the How We Became a Greener Organization link. I'm sorry, how can we become a greener organization? So if you need to, step back to Return to Main Screen at the top right and click on that agenda item, which is, again, a brainstorm. So what I want you to do now is just to take on this topic, and you can be as creative as you choose. Somebody has been. Paint the buildings green, of course. You can type your idea in the Add an Idea area, and there's an Add My Idea button, which will add your idea to the electronic flip chart area down below. and we're all going to see all of the ideas come in. Do we have any questions on that? I don't think so. Okay, great. So I'd like everybody to add 2 or 3 ideas if you can. So just add them individually, just an idea, add another, and then another, and you'll see why I want you to add more than one idea in just a bit. But I'd really like to see a lot of ideas show up here. So we've got some coming in, and just make sure that you've added 2 or 3 ideas, please. Okay, very good. It's coming along fine. So as you add a comment, you'll see that it gets added to the body of the original idea. So you see that very quickly we get a lot of ideas in here. And if you scroll down, refresh your screen, you'll see that next to each idea there's a light bulb. So if there's something you'd like to build, if there's an idea here that you'd like to build on to add to that idea, just click on the light bulb and add a comment. Why don't you try that now? Let's see if we can see how that works. So you click on the light bulb next to a comment, and you add a comment, and as you add it, it gets added to the body of the original idea. So do you get a sense of how this is very similar to Post-it notes and flip charts? Part of our intention actually here is that this would be super easy, and I see that you're all kind of catching on to it. I don't really think that participants need a lot of instructions. You just invite them in, you do a little bit of pre-work, bring them in through a teleconference or through the way we did right here through CCC Confer. You could integrate CCC Brainstorm with whatever else is going on in the meeting. You may be discussing a variety of things in your meeting. There may be a presentation component. There may be something where you really want to have a brainstorm, for idea generation, let's say. You might be trying to solve problems, trying to identify or get to the root cause of an issue before you come up with the solution. So a whole range of things. But we might be trying to pull ideas from the participants. So one of the interesting things I think about these tools is that the dynamics of the meeting get shifted a little bit. You get a lot of ideas on the table. You get a lot of thoughts from people who might not ordinarily speak up. And there's some efficiency naturally because you're not dealing with all that paper that gets stuck to the walls or ends up on the table or the floor, et cetera. So there's a certain amount of administrative efficiency with this too. And that also shifts the dynamics in interesting and I think useful ways. So I'm going to, as you're adding ideas now, I'm actually going to be doing something in the background. So feel free to continue to add ideas.
And Eric adds people aren't talking over each other too, so you can just chatter on.
That's right. And the other thing that kind of happens here is as you're trying to brainstorm very often is that someone will have their hand up and for one reason or another somebody won't hear that or won't see that hand, or they'll get a little frustrated that their idea is being ignored and all that sort of thing. Here it's pretty hard really to ignore anyone. Everybody's idea kind of gets put in at sort of the same time, so nobody's having to wait their turn to add an idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to sort those ideas. What I've kind of done, if you'll refresh your list at this point, I think what you'll see is that I've put some things in a category and some not, because there were far too many ideas for me to actually categorize those. But as you sort through, what you'll see is that what I've done is that I've created some arbitrary categories: energy conservation, paper saving, travel, and other. And that makes it a little bit easier as the ideas are being generated to put those ideas, to be able to say, well, these ideas are similar and these ideas are different, etc. So maybe you can see that, and I could finish up with this list, but you might also be able to, and I don't think I will, but you might also be able to see that as a new idea is added, there now is up above a category which allows you to pull down and add your idea into one of those categories. So this could be done from the beginning of the categorization, or it could be, in other words, from the beginning you could have preset categories, or you could have a discussion about which categories you want to use or which categories you see and sort of poll the group on that, or you could simply, from the ideas, decide, well, let's let's put those into categories ourselves. So that's one of the things that can be done right from the get. So I'll go to something that I've already decided is a checkbox item, and I'll grant everyone participation access to that. So if you will return to the main screen, remember this up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll now see that we have an item that's been added to our agenda, which teams will make the Super Bowl this season. And since the Super Bowl is only 2 teams, I'm only going to allow you to vote on 2 teams. Since this has already been set up, I know that it's going to work, so let's spend a few minutes and see if we can't figure that out. Return to the main screen, and then click on which teams will make the Super Bowl this season. Again, you'll see the results displayed. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think that's actually possible since they're in the same league. But nonetheless, and the Patriots are up there. So feel free to take a look through. You'll see the standard deviation. And again, click on any of the graphs, and you're able to see how the vote distribution was. Of course, this is going to look a little different than the graphs that I showed you a little bit earlier because, of course, the voting was different. But we certainly can see that there are quite a few teams in this league that didn't get any votes at all, and some of the more popular ones show up. I'm glad that the Lions got at least, how many votes did they get?
1.
Take a look.
Was that you?
No, it wasn't.
It was Linda.
Probably. Okay. So that's basically what I wanted to show you with this tool. Obviously, I could let you play around a little bit more, but I think what I want to do instead is to take you back to our slide and allow for some more Q&A and discussion of what you've seen so far. And Scott, of course, is a Raiders fan. So Greg has a question. Any concerns about confidentiality or security? Could this be used for voting? Well, of course, your voting is actually confidential in the sense that the way we did it now, I don't know unless you tell me who voted or how they voted. You all had anonymous logins when I took you in this way. If I took you in and insisted on you to log in with a username, whatever that was, using one of the passwords, I can decide as a facilitator whether we're going to attribute votes to individuals or allow them to be anonymous. So either way will work. Depends on how you go with it.
Jeannie asked how, and I'm not sure if we addressed this question yet, how are we able to access the screen through CCC Confer? I think she's asking how do you use Confer with the Brainstorm?
Okay, well, right now, or what I've been doing, I've done it 2 different ways, but the way it has to work is if you were going through a Meet and Confer or a webinar or a Teach and Confer, you would need to use the web tool. And the web tool is the 3rd icon, the icon to the right in our tool set above our whiteboard now. The web tool, you can either push them to a new URL, that's one way you can do it, so that basically a new browser window opens and they're separated from this session altogether and able to use that. Or you simply take them in the way I did using WebTour, and we're all on the same screen so I can still see your chat comments. And if you were not muted as you are in this session, then I could hear your comments and questions as you went along. So that's one way it could be done. Remember, though, that this is a tool that can be used completely separate from CCC Confer. You can send out invitations to a brainstorm session using that email tool, and the brainstorming can be done asynchronously. It can be done in the same room if everybody's able to log into that site. It can be done a lot of different ways. So the object of us getting this license was because we thought a lot of our online meetings were not as productive as they could be because of the limitations of the technologies that were being used. It is not, strictly speaking, an online tool or even an adjunct to the online tool of Meet and Confer.
You could also do it as a confer call in an online.
You can simply do a call confer and say, everybody go to the brainstorm session and contribute your ideas, and we'll go from there. In other words, it need not involve the Meet and Confer or the Blackboard Collaborate interface at all. This is a convenient way to get a lot of other things done. So as I mentioned earlier, you could do a presentation and then take people in to do some brainstorming and then come back out and conclude with your meeting and go on from there. Or again, this could be done completely online without ever meeting in real time.
And Greg asks, if you required users to log in, could there be a limit so each person only votes once, so only the most recent vote is counted?
Yeah, there actually is that limit. In other words, as you are logged in, you're really only able to, well, maybe I'm wrong about that. You probably can change your vote, but you do not get two votes. Your votes don't count twice.
And Maureen says, I really like this tool. I can see it working very effectively in my organization, but I think I would use it to give ample time for brainstorming, then using the real-time function for the decision-making. I'm afraid for those who use a reflection mode to generate ideas. That way we may lose them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Maureen. I think this is a great way, because what happens very often, we've all done this, is you go to a meeting and you get quite irritated because about half of the people have actually done the work ahead of time, and the other half of the people have not done any of the work. So if you made this a sort of pre-work thing, let's start to generate ideas. Let's make this a requirement that everybody who's got something to say it in advance, bring those ideas, and then bring them together and maybe have them vote at that point, or have them vote in advance and then discuss what the real solutions are. Or the other option, and I think this is another common scenario, you may have 100 people who want to have input into a specific issue. 100 people who want to know, how do we solve the parking issue, or what are we going to do about our flex time, or something along those lines. All those people want to have something to say, but it's probably not possible for you to meet and hear all of them in one venue. So you let those 100 people get together, do their brainstorming, do that talk. You categorize the ideas. Maybe you allow them to do some prioritizing so that the top 5 or 6 are the ones that you really want to focus on. And then you say, now let's get some representatives from that larger group. Let's figure out 10 or 12 people who can meet in one room and hash out those ideas. That way you've got input from everybody, but you're able to actually control the amount of real decision-making or action steps that take place afterward with the smaller group.
And Jeannie asks, can we call this a flipped meeting?
I don't know if it's flipped. It certainly is more efficient. And I think all of us have been part of those meetings where the flip charts are taped to the walls. They're starting to fall down. They're illegible from the back of the room. And then we get around with little sticky tape or something, the Post-it notes, and those start, and somebody starts to scribble on the flip chart. And after a while, you wonder, I wonder if any of the ideas have actually been preserved, and you're pretty sure that all of them have not been preserved, and it's going to take a while before anybody's able to make any sense out of it. Here, with a click of the button, you've got a report on the entire meeting, and that's very convenient. Greg says participate via smartphone. I don't see why not, although you might have some trouble with the typing part, actually getting things in there. But there's no reason that you wouldn't be able to see. This is a simple browser-based web meeting, so if you can get on the web, you can actually use any device to participate.
Yeah, the size of some of the smartphone screens is almost bordering on tablets now.
Yeah, I think that would make it difficult. depending on how comfortable you are with typing on a smaller device or a mobile device, you're going to be certainly able to participate. And Scott, I appreciate that comment. Yes, I think the campus-wide it could be used for that as well. So, tricks for people getting people interested. Gene, chocolate usually works.
Provocative. I would start with some kind of provocative question.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe, actually, if you take a look at some of the videos that we've put out for Brainstorm, they may be compelling enough, and we'll make a video out of this one as well. They may be compelling enough to get people to say, that looks like a better way than what I'm used to using. Support, Sylvia, we do have a support line. It is a hotline, and it will take you to either Tiffany or Phil or myself. And, of course, as I showed you before, we have the tutorials. We do have a printed manual. The PDF is about 100 pages. Should be able to get you through that.
Jeannie's comment I can already hear. I don't want to learn another program.
The hook comes when you discover that this actually saves me time. And it isn't so much the fact that I had to learn another program as that I learned another program and it saved me a ton of work and things got better at my end. So it really, I agree with you. That's always been the case. CCC Confer and every other technology that we've been involved in, there is a learning curve, and you either decide that learning curve is worth the return on investment or it isn't. So great use the iPhone. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jeannie. Great for documenting collaboration and transparency for accreditation visits.
The truth is that the ideas that you get are only going to be as good as the questions that you ask or the group of people that you bring together. Of course, we had an exceptional group for this particular brainstorm, you all, and the voting is really only going to be as good as the explanation of why you're voting and what you'll do with the results, and the meeting itself is only as good as the agenda that you create and the way that you execute it. So it really is designed to support people like yourselves, facilitators, team leaders, teachers, trainers, etc., but it supports administration of a lot of different kinds of conversations that you might want to facilitate, but it does not actually do the facilitation. It simply is a supportive technology for doing that.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Maureen says, is there a separate training for the administrator?
We have not done that yet. Although I'm willing to do that. I think when there is enough demand, I will try to fill that demand.